something unexpected is happening in West Africa. A country often overshadowed by the giants of global influence is now in the spotlight for something that could reshape the narrative about Africa entirely. That country is Burkina Faso. And the reason? A brand new electric car factory that has not only surprised the continent but has sent shockwaves through Europe and America. At first glance, this might seem like a small, local development. But dig deeper, and you'll realize it's a major move. In a world racing toward clean energy, where EVs are the future, Burkina Faso has just taken a bold leap that nobody saw coming. It isn't just building electric cars, it's building history. The factory is fully operational. A sophisticated production line, staffed by local engineers, powered by renewable energy, and driven by national ambition. The floor hums with the rhythm of industry, welding, assembling, coding, testing. Not with outdated tools, but with cutting-edge equipment and technology, some of which was developed by homegrown startups and innovators from within West Africa. The vehicles coming off the line are not luxury sports EVs built for show. These are practical, robust electric vehicles, designed for the African terrain. Vehicles built with modular batteries, solar-assisted charging systems, and minimal maintenance needs. They are affordable, efficient, and engineered for daily use in real-world African conditions. They're not just cars, they are solutions. And this is exactly what has the world so stunned. France, which still holds historical and economic influence in parts of West Africa, didn't anticipate this. Neither did American auto analysts, who now see Africa not just as a passive consumer market, but as a rising competitor with its own automotive ecosystem. The usual powers are used to Africa importing vehicles, not producing them. But Burkina Faso has changed the script. The financing didn't come from the World Bank or the IMF. It wasn't a Western-led initiative. The investment flowed in from Pan-African partners, renewable energy alliances, and passionate diaspora members who believed their home country could rise. And rise it did. This electric car factory is more than infrastructure. It's a declaration of sovereignty. It's an answer to decades of economic dependency. And it's lighting a fire under neighboring nations, who now see the blueprint of what's possible. Local governments are already sending delegations to observe. Engineers are being trained. Schools are adapting their curriculums to include EV technologies. A movement is forming. The reaction has been fascinating. In Paris, energy advisors and Auto XX are scrambling to understand how they missed this. In Washington, think tanks are discussing Africa's accelerating innovation curve. But on the ground in Burkina Faso, the atmosphere is different. It's filled with quiet pride and unstoppable momentum. The people behind the project aren't seeking praise. They're solving real problems. They're replacing smoke-belching diesel trucks with clean energy. They're providing local jobs. They're teaching young people how to build the future instead of waiting for it. This is not just one factory, it's the beginning of something much larger. Plans are underway to replicate the model in nearby countries like Togo, Niger, and Benin. An African EV corridor is being envisioned, complete with charging stations, supply chains, and cross-border trade powered by locally made electric vehicles. And it's all happening with minimal reliance on Western aid or multinational oversight. It's a wake-up call to the world. The global auto industry has long seen Africa as an end market. Now, it must recognize it as a starting point. And the symbolism runs deep. Burkina Faso, once considered one of the world's poorest countries, is now producing technology that challenges the very nations that shaped its past. The narrative has shifted. The world is watching not with pity, but with surprise. And maybe even concern. Because what Burkina Faso has done is reveal a new truth. Africa doesn't need to wait. Africa doesn't need to beg. Africa doesn't need to follow. Africa can lead. As one engineer said during a factory walkthrough, we're not asking to join the game. We're creating a new one. And he's right. From solar-powered grids to digital EV dashboards in French and local languages, everything about this operation is built for sustainability, scalability, and sovereignty. This isn't just a factory. It's a symbol of potential. It's a spark of what could become an entire continent's transformation. And it's happening in real time, whether the rest of the world is ready or not. So when you hear people ask, what's Burkina Faso doing building electric cars? You tell them, building hope, building independence, building the future. Africa has always had the talent. It just needed the tools and the freedom to use them. Now it has both. And it's accelerating forward, silent, clean, and unstoppable. If you've made it this far into the story, you already understand this isn't just about vehicles. It's about vision. A vision that's no longer a fantasy but a factory. A dream no longer waiting on Western grants, but rolling on 4 wheels through West Africa. And that's a reality too powerful to ignore. So what do you think? Should the rest of the world pay closer attention? Is this the beginning of something much bigger? Because it feels like it. And maybe, just maybe, it's already too late for the world to catch up. In villages near the capital, the sight of a silent electric vehicle gliding past is still new. But the children don't flinch. They chase it with wide smiles, not because it's a novelty, but because they know it's theirs. A product of their soil, their hands, their future. It's the kind of quiet revolution that doesn't roar through cities with banners and marches, but hums along quietly every day, reshaping the air, the roads, and the story of what's possible. You can sense it in the pride of the young engineer showing off his first working prototype. In the quiet determination of women on the assembly line, balancing precision and power. In the eyes of the local investors who believed in the impossible when nobody else did. And in the soft clinking of solar panels being mounted above rural homes, where those cars will soon charge, not from dirty grids, but from the African sun itself. There's a rhythm to all of this. A pulse. One that doesn't follow Western blueprints. One that wasn't forecasted by Wall Street or expected by Paris. It comes from somewhere deeper. Somewhere that's been waiting to rise for generations. The West will ask how this happened. How a land they overlooked is now outpacing them in clean tech courage. They'll analyze it, debate it, send journalists and policy experts to study it. But they'll miss the point. Because this isn't just about EVs or emissions. It's about breaking chains. Chains made of outdated assumptions, economic dependency, and colonial aftershocks. And now, those chains are cracking, not with violence, not with anger, but with innovation. With a vision that says, we don't need to import progress. We'll build it. Right here. Every car that rolls off that line isn't just an electric vehicle. It's a symbol of what happens when belief meets action. When ambition replaces hesitation. When the continent chooses its own path, on its own terms. And perhaps most importantly, it's a message to every African child looking out from a classroom window. That they don't have to dream of going to Germany, or Japan, or Silicon Valley to change the world. They can do it from Ouagadougou. From Bobo Dioulasso. From anywhere. That's the real revolution. In France, some are worried about losing influence. In the US, lobbyists whisper about emerging threats in the auto sector. But here, there's only growth. Not the kind that strips resources, but the kind that builds capacity. Not the kind that requires permission, but the kind that creates its own lane. It's no longer about catching up. It's about redefining what leadership looks like. And now, the world must reckon with a simple truth. The next great automotive chapter may not be written in Detroit, or Munich, or Tokyo. It may be written in Burkina Faso, in solar-powered workshops, on red soil roads, by hands that have waited too long to be underestimated. So when the world asks in disbelief, wait, Burkina Faso? Really? The answer is simple. Yes, really. And it's only the beginning. Because the quiet hum of an electric motor, built by African minds and powered by African energy, may just be the loudest sound the global auto industry hears this decade. The wheels are turning. The ground is shifting. Africa is moving. And there's no turning back. And now you've seen it, not a dream, not a headline, but a new reality. From the heart of Burkina Faso, a quiet revolution is unfolding, one electric motor at a time. So the next time someone tells you where innovation comes from, remind them to look again. Because the future isn't just arriving, it's being built in Africa. If this story surprised or inspired you, don't let it stop here. Like this video to support the innovators rewriting Africa's future. Subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories from places the world often ignores. Share this video and let your friends know. Burkina Faso just shocked the global auto industry. And drop a comment below. Should more EV factories rise across Africa? Let's make this conversation go global, just like the innovation itself.